you just came from the KOBC where I heard Elon students pitch you some ideas of their own. I'm kind of just curious, how did that go? Did any of them have the Daymond or the Shark Tank stamp of approval?
They were amazing. And listen, I'm not just saying that to say that. Because the amount of information they were able to break down in 3 minutes, because a normal like elevator pitch is 90 seconds when you think about that, right? And that's, I don't have any slides, I don't have anything. I caught you in the elevator. Blah, 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 blah. This is with slides, showing sales, proof of concept, why, when, where, why me, why now, why this. Absolutely amazing. So it was, I really, really wish that some of those bobos that come on the Shark Tank would take some advice from some of these future sharks that I just got to witness.
Well, that's got me thinking. Are you going to invite any of the Elon students onto Shark Tank? Do you have?
If I invite them, they would be disqualified. I can't know anything about them.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
So who picks them?
The casting agent. We have no idea who picks them. You know, that's the beauty of Shark Tank. I think they have casting calls, and sometimes here's a professor here, or somebody say, hey, you should see this kid who pitched in school. We have no idea where they pick them. That's the beauty of Shark Tank. So they ask us if we've ever seen some of these people, and some of these people are people who pitched before, and we see them, we go, yeah, I saw that person. They go, okay, well, that person can't pitch on the panel that Daymond's on.
So they disqualified themselves from going on the show by pitching to you today.
Basically, unless it's a public stage like what we were just on, that's, for the most part, that's a public stage. I can't even unless I have given my, I give a list before my contract of 100 companies or whatever that I'm even considering. After that, anybody that was not on that list previously, I can't even hear the pitch unless it's real estates or public stocks, or they can pitch a public stage like that.
Absolutely. You're visiting a university that has an entrepreneurship major. I know you started off at your mother's house and on the street corners of New York. Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of curious how you change the way you speak or the way you give advice for college students versus individuals who are looking to do a business startup.
There's no difference.
So what advice would you give?
Well, first come up with a concept. Come up with a concept you're extremely passionate about. And then don't use any money. The first investment is something you've already done. You invested in college. You were smart enough to invest in education. And any concept that you have, you invest in the education of that problem. Why is there a problem or joy you're bringing, right? So, I am a firm believer in higher education. But if you don't have the ability to have a higher education, you still have to investigate what you're doing. Why is it an option? The people who make the biggest mistakes go, well, Daymond John just sold shirts. I can sell shirts. It's not it. So what do you have? So I'll say it on stage today. You have to use your resources, OPM, right? And the other people's mind power or manpower or manufacturing or marketing or various other things like that. What I invested in the first 6 months of my career as my clothing brand, I had a phone available to me. That's all I had. I didn't have any money. I said I was going to make 50 calls a day. 50 a day. And in 6 months, if those 50 calls that I felt comfortable enough to start doing more, I would make 75. So I made 50 calls a day. 10 to manufacturers, 10 to maybe record labels, the artists wear my clothes, 10 to places, clothing stores. What are you looking for? What can I do? And nobody even respected me or really even stayed on the phone with me or answered the phone for the first 3 months. But after 3 months, you know what happened? Hey, I know you call me. I don't have anything for you, but I know somebody you should talk to. So it's investigating time and energy, And the young adults today, they understood well enough that they need to come to a school to learn certain aspects of it and investigate in it. Instead of a lot of other people go, either they go, oh, it can't be done because I don't have any money, or they go, oh, it's just this easy. Let me just open a site and people will come.
I'm curious, did you see any of yourself and the students that presented to you today?
Every one of them. I saw some minor mistakes, or they don't know at the moment, right? But more importantly, and I see that in way more adults, but more importantly, I saw I saw them with a burning passion to solve a problem. And it wasn't a problem that they necessarily had. I don't know if the young man pitching food insecurity had food insecurity, but I know that he was aware enough of how many people have food insecurity and know that this is the greatest country on the planet. And if you can't feed yourself or feed your family, what are you going to do? You may do things that are not in the best interest of this country because you just want to feed your family. And that's a burning desire to solve a problem, because that problem of people not having food, that's a national security matter, right? Or another young lady going, people want to feel good about what they are and how they present themselves. And if I can come up with a product that can make them feel better about how they present themselves. So every one of these young adults that I watched today, they had a burning desire to solve a problem. Mine was, nobody's respecting the kids that love this new emerging music called hip hop. Why? Why are they taking our money going, we don't like you? When's somebody ever going to say, I don't care what color you are, I love hip hop too. It's great. I like you. I love you. What more can I do for you? It's the same thing. Every entrepreneur has that same thing. They're trying to solve a problem or bring somebody joy.
Why is that an important issue to you?
Why, what is an important issue to me?
The topic that you just talked about in terms of liking all kinds of music or liking the music regardless of who makes it.
I didn't say I like all kind of music.
Okay.
I was saying to people, I appreciate your right to listen to all kind of music, right? I was saying that the people that were serving those were saying, I don't like you. I believe that anybody that you serve, you should reflect the way they either think or look like the people you serve. You know, I always say that most likely a white male probably could not make the best hair product for an African-American female. Matter of fact, an African-American male could probably not make the best product for an African-American female. Now, could they collectively get together with people who are African-American women and white males? Absolutely. And black males, whatever. But all I'm saying is that diversity brings innovation. You know, if you and I, we love our little world, it's when somebody comes in and hacks it and says, yeah, I love your little world, but you know what, if you just did this, it would be also better for us too. And we want to be part of it. You know, so I think that's what I love about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship evolves, it changes, you know, it moves. Because you never know who's going to pick up your idea, your service, your product. You may sell to this one market and you find out this other market loves you. You know, we don't know what we don't know. When I grew up and I loved hip hop, and I still love hip hop, and I was like, hip hop is the voice of the streets. I started going around the country, you know what I found out? Country music is the same thing as hip hop. It is the voice of the have-nots. And when you have the voice of the have-nots talking about their plights or their hopes or their dreams, they are totally unfiltered. I don't care if you come from the streets of Harlem or the farms in Kentucky. You have a desire and a need to share what's going on, from political issues to police violence to your hopes, your dreams, and love. You know, like, so, because they know country's always like, oh, they shot my dog, right? Well, what was DMX always talking about? It was nothing me and my dog, right? It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I know we don't have much time left, but I know obviously you're giving the Fall Convocation speech at Elon University. Can you give us just a sneak peek at what you're going to be speaking about?
You know, I'm going to speak about the only thing, you know, so here's the best thing that I can say to every one of the young adults watching now. The key to speaking is very simple. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. That's always what it's going to be. The key to speaking, because they say it's probably like the number one fear or something like that. I think dying is like 6, so number one is public speaking. I'm going to be in a room full of a vast amount of people, everybody from young individuals who see the world a different way to extremely intelligent, accomplished people. And how do I bring them together? I can only tell them my story. I can only tell them what I've experienced in life. So somebody can say, no, you haven't. Yes, I have. You weren't there. And when you tell people, your story and what you've taken away from that, they can apply it to what they've taken away from their stories that are very similar. That's the only thing I can do, because I can never compete against. I barely went. I wasn't smart enough like you, or disciplined like you to go to college, so I can't talk on the level of many of the students. I can't be as articulate there in regards to some issues that are happening today, and definitely can't even touch the professors. I can only tell them my experience. So I'm going to tell them my story, and then tell them how I educate these other 5 bobos on Shark Tank called my fellow sharks. How it's hard for me to be the lead shark and the smartest person in the room. It's very hard.
It's always a pain.
It is.